Hare Krishna. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. We are very, very fortunate to have His Grace Shastra Krit Prabhu. Shastra Krit Prabhu will be speaking from Sri Caitanya Caritamrta, Madhya Lila, chapter 24, verse 211 onwards. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for giving us your association on this busy. Please take over the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mata. So, let's start with the invocation. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhaktivinoda. So this is chapter 24, text 211. This is the Bengali for this verse is E unisa artha karilu age suna ara atma sabde deha kahe chari artha thara. Translation: I have already explained 19 different meanings. Now please hear further meanings. The word Atma also refers to the body, and this can be taken in 4 ways. Purport by His Divine Grace. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation, this is the purport. The 4 divisions of meanings of the word Deha, body, are Aupadika Brahma Deha, material body considered as Brahman with designations. Wide verses 212. Second, this is the number 2 is karma. So Prabhupada is giving 4 divisions of meaning for the word Deha. So the first one is material body considered as Brahman with designation. Second one is karma nishta yagnikera karma deha, the body engaged in ritualistic ceremonies of the Vedic injunctions. The third one is tapodeha, the body engaged in austerities and penances. And the fourth one is sarva kama deha, body engaged for the satisfaction of all kinds of material desires. So I want to read one more verse, text 212. This very beautiful verse. This doesn't have any purport, but the translation is so nice in itself. Deha Rami Deha Bhaje Deho Padi Brahma Satsange Seha Kare Krishnera Bhajana. Translation: one in the bodily conception worships his own body as Brahman. But when he comes in contact with the devotee, he gives up this mistaken idea and engages himself in the devotional service of Lord Krishna. Om Ajnanatimmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Burle Srimate Devamrita Swami Namni. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Burle Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namni. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharini Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desarani. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare. Translation again. One in the bodily conception worships his own body as Brahman. But when he comes in contact with the devotee, he gives up this mistaken idea and engages himself in devotional service of Lord Krishna. So in this translation, there are 4 main points. I think some devotees haven't muted themselves. I can hear all kinds of noises. So please, if you can. One in the translation, there are 4 things Prabhupada is talking about. Just quickly reading this, you can see that Prabhupada's in the translation is talking. There's like bodily conception is mentioned, and there is Brahman is mentioned, and there is like mistaken idea is mentioned, and then there's devotional service of Lord Krishna. The word for word is also very nice. I wanted to read for this translation. Synonyms. That Deha Rami means a person who has accepted the body as the self and is interested only in sense gratification. Dehe, in the body. Bhaje, worships. Deha Upadi Brahma. Brahman having the body as designation. Satsange, in the association of devotees. Seha, such a person. Kare, does Krishnera Bhajana, service to Lord Krishna. So, when the bodily concept a person thinks his own body as Brahman, and he worships his own body. We all know, before we came to Krishna consciousness, how the bodily platform, bodily concept of life, and the mental platform is nothing but misconceptions. Here Prabhupada says mistaken idea. So bodily and mental platform is nothing but a bunch of mistaken ideas and simply suffering. The body is always giving some kind of suffering, and what to speak of the mind. At least the physical pain is tolerable, but the mental pain is unbearable. That's why, especially in America, my Guru Maharaj was saying how in the last 10 years, the prescriptions related to mental illness, depression, anxiety, so on and so forth, has increased by 400%. So it's become like a, big thing. And that's why when we're distributing books, more and more people are eager when we talk about, how the books will help their mind. People are eager to buy them. So the bodily concept is simply troublesome. And without understanding that, we take it for granted that it's a beautiful thing. Everybody is into their own body and mind. Like one time in one of the programs in New Zealand, one of my godbrothers was giving the Sunday class, and he asked the people present there, mostly Westerners and some Indians too, and the devotee asked, "Oh, how many? What do you want to be in your next life?" He was saying, in case there is reincarnation, what would you like to be in your next life? And everybody raised their hands, and they're like happily saying, one person wanted to be a bird, one wanted to be a dog, one wanted to be a butterfly, one was, like this. Everybody had their choices and desires, what they want to be like in the next life. But without understanding how painful it is, what a diseased condition, like Prabhupada was explaining in one lecture, how just like when you go to a prison, you are asked to take off your clothes and then they'll give you a different set of clothes to identify you as a prisoner, uniform. Or you go to a hospital and you're really sick, then they take off your clothes you're wearing and then they give you the hospital dress to identify. Similarly, Prabhupada said, we have our Siddha Deha, we have our spiritual body, but we've been asked to, put that aside, and then we are given this prison uniform, this body, and no matter what body it is, it's suffering. Of course, Prahlad Maharaj said, Durlabha Manava Janma Tadapi Adruvam Arthadam. Even though the human form of life is temporary and miserable, but it can award us the greatest blessing. So in the bodily concept, everybody worships the body as Brahman. And Prabhupada explains in another place how even the so-called liberated platform, where people say like, Aham Brahmasmi, Brahma Satya, Jagan Mithya, I want moksha, I want liberation, like that. Even in that platform, that's also not proper understanding. It's also mentioned in the Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They kick it out as cheating. Dharma projita kaitava atra paramo nirmacharanam satam. Bhagavatam kicks out even up to the point of liberation. Because, that's also not complete. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he prayed, Nadanam Najanam Nasundarim Kavitam Vajagadisha Kame Mama Janmani Janmani Shware Bhavatad Bhakti Rahaitu Kitvai. He mentions how Janmani Janmani Ishware, birth after birth. He's not talking about liberation. Why? Because people's concept of liberation is that, we want to merge with some energy or void and shanti, there's peace and, stillness and all this. But the soul is not designed for that. So that's not the constitutional position of the soul. The soul is Jivera Swarupohoi Krishnera Nityada. The soul is, designed. We are designed to give service to Krishna. So it's not possible that we become like, liberated, so-called. Especially the Sayujya Mukti, that's like hellish. Especially the Vaishnava Acharyas, when they give commentary, they say that's what the demons get. When all the demons are killed, they get this Sayujya Mukti. So why should any devotee aspire for that? That's hellish. Kaivalyam narakayate, tridashapur akasha pushpayate. Prabodhananda Saraswati says all this Kaivalyam he compares to being in hell. He says, a thorn. They get pricked by a sharp thorn in Vrajabhumi. That's millions of times more pleasurable than attaining so-called Brahman nirvana, he explains. So the Acharyas don't want this. This is like hellish. At least in hell, you can call out the Lord's name and in suffering. But the so-called nirvana, Brahman realization, what's the point of that? It's like, again, we are separated from Krishna's service. So bodily concept is painful, and then The so-called Brahman platform is also painful. So what is the solution? Here Prabhupada said, but when he comes in contact with the devotee, he gives up this mistaken idea and engages himself in devotional service of Lord Krishna. So how fortunate are we that we are given this service to Lord Krishna? And the point, the key word is when somebody comes in contact with the devotee. Because a devotee can give devotional service, is empowered. Krishna se tumara, Krishna te para, tumare sakali aj. Bhakti Vinod Thakur is praying in the song Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya, that Krishna is yours and you can distribute him as you like. So I'm running behind you, begging you for this mercy. And if you don't give me, then what's the point of maintaining my life? Simply burdensome. Prabhupada was speaking in one of the second canto verses, and Prabhupada is just like, the ear holes that didn't get chance to hear about Krishna consciousness. It's like snake holes, like when you go on the beach or when you're walking in the farmlands. There are so many holes, and the mice, they make the holes, and the poisonous snake comes and swallows the mice and lives in that hole, so nobody wants to put their feet or hand in that hole. Similarly, the ear holes is compared to the snake holes if it's not given the opportunity of his, to hear and chant about Krishna. So Bhakti Vinod Thakur is praying in the song that as a Vaishnava, you can give me Krishna. And somehow or other, we were given Krishna by a devotee. It's not like we were going door to door, temple to temple, looking for pure devotional service. Maybe some of you rare souls did, but generally speaking, I didn't. It's just like you're going about your business in Maya, just like bodily concept. Not even the Brahman platform, just like an animal mostly in Kali Yuga. It's like ahara, nidra, bhayam, maitunam cha, just like, animal concept. Yasya atma buddhi kunapetri dhatuke. Sadi kalatradisi bhaumai cha ijjati yatirtha buddhi salilena karihichit janeshu abhigeshu sa eva gokara. Bhagavatam is so graphic. It's just like, it's like a life existence like cows and asses. Sa eva gokara. Living in the bodily platform, thinking the place of birth is worshipable, my caste is worshipable, my village is worshipable, my skin color is worshipable, my relatives, my language, it's like unending, never-ending amount of bodily concepts. Until we came across a Vaishnava and we don't even know. Like when we're distributing, there's like people all over the place now. It's Thanksgiving season. They're promoting everywhere. Oh, this is the best gift you can give. This is the best deal you can get for Black Friday. But it's all abominable material stuff. Everywhere is like paintings and photos of dead animals, and people are buying in anxiety to buy something they don't even have money for and to give it to people that don't even need it. But the real gift, the real deal is if they come across one of Srila Prabhupada's representatives, one of Prabhupada's books, holy name, prasad, somehow or other, if they come across, that's the real deal. That's like a lottery, best lottery ever. And that's the most beautiful thing that can happen to anyone, even though they're not looking for it. And most of the time, you'll be giving books to people that don't even have a clue what they just received. How powerful, how precious these books are. Many of the times, I'm guilty myself, we don't even realize the power of the books that we are distributing or holding. It's just like whatever we associate with, we will get that form in the next life. If we are holding, whatever we are holding all life, that's what is going to mold our next life. So if we are holding Srimad Bhagavatam and Gita and Caitanya Caritamrta in our hand all life, reading and distributing, Krishna says, Tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti, so Arjuna. You don't get another material body. So even though we don't realize to the full extent, Prabhupada was saying, even Krishna don't realize to the extent of his glories. Ekam sena stito jagat, he explains in the 10th canto. He's saying, Arjuna, how much can I tell you? Just like a fragment of my energy, like a portion, like a ekam sena stito jagat, just like an amsa. I'm maintaining everything, all this universal creation. What can I tell you? So Prabhupada is saying, even Krishna don't understand the extent of his glories. Therefore, he came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to find out his own glories, Prabhupada was saying. So we don't realize what we're distributing. People don't realize what they're receiving. That is the beauty of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance in the world. Nobody is looking for pure devotional service, but he's running after the unqualified jivatmas. Like I used to distribute books in concerts. We would go in a van and, we'll follow different concerts. And the concert, these famous bands, they will go from one state to another. They will play in one state one day and the next day they'll be in another state. And we'll just follow them. And we'll go everywhere. And, one time I was new to America. I was like shocked. Because I was telling one of our devotees, I was distributing books. I was like, my God, this girl is pretty much breaking all 4 regulative principles in one sitting. She had like a beer in her hand and they were playing cards and they were eating some kind of burgers, not vegetarian. And they were, every now and then they were kissing. So I was like, speaking of 4 regulative principles, they're breaking like as many regs as possible in one go. And then you go up to them and then you flatter them and then you give them a book. Because that's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. Papi tapi jata chilo, hari name udarilo, tara zakshi jagai madai. So this is a mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the devotees. There are instances in the Chaitanya Caritamrta where even, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was strict. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was strict with some of the devotees. But the devotees didn't give up. There was an instance where there was ecstatic kirtan going on and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dancing and singing and he went into this Mahabhav and he just collapsed in the arms of King Prataparudra. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to consciousness, he said, oh my God, how abominable I was actually touched by a Vishayi, by this sense gratifier, by this king. I'm condemned. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so strict like that in the social etiquette. But the devotees, headed by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, who was the guru of King Prataparudra before, he was always coming. Nityananda Prabhu was coming. So many devotees were coming. And they were begging Mahaprabhu, please, please, this king is not what you think he is. Please consider. And Mahaprabhu said he can be whatever he is, but just the fact he has this, his name ends with this word king. I can't see him. I can't interact with him. So they brought his son. They brought the son of the king, and who looked like Krishna with big lotus eyes and dark complexion. He was wearing yellow clothes. And Mahaprabhu gave his garments and blessed this boy profusely and embraced him and shed tears. So he was giving indirectly mercy. But then, we know this famous pastime where, like, after the Rath Yatra, the devotees told King Prataparudra to disguise himself just like an ordinary sweeper on the street. And Mahaprabhu, after the Rath Yatra, they went to the Gundicha garden and he was taking rest on the lap of King Prataparudra, and he was singing so many beautiful songs from Gopi Gita. And Mahaprabhu just relishing it and said, please go on speaking, go on speaking. And then when he came to this verse, Tava Katamrutam Tapta Jivanam, Mahaprabhu was in ecstasy. Burida Jana, Burida Jana. He kept chanting this ending of this verse, glorifying the preachers, the devotees who are merciful to the conditioned soul. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked him, he asked King Prataparudra, who are you? You're so munificent. Who are you? Who are you? And King Prataparudra was horrified, like, oh my God, what am I supposed to say now? Because he can't lie to the Supreme Personality of God. And he just, being so intelligent, he just told him, my Lord, I'm just the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of your servant. So like this, even Mahaprabhu didn't want to see him, but the devotees gave the mercy of Mahaprabhu. Same thing when Kala Krishna Das, when he was traveling with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he was allured by the Bhattaharis, and Mahaprabhu went to rescue him and grabbed him by the hair and brought him back and chastised him and said, you're in the renounced order of life and I'm in the renounced order of life, and you're supposed to be assisting me, but you make me all this trouble. I had to go out of my way to come and rescue you. And he says, I'm sorry, but you can't be with me anymore. You had to leave. So he went back. And imagine how bad, how guilty Kala Krishnadas was feeling. But then when he went home, the devotees gave him so many services. They didn't, want him to feel like go away from the association. Like that, there are so many examples where, the devotees are more merciful than the Lord himself. And by coming in contact with the devotee, we get association. On the other hand, it can also go the opposite. If we, like the saying goes, don't bite the hand that feeds you. If we offend a devotee or devotees, then that goes against our devotional progress. Practically speaking, all of us are guilty. Knowingly or unknowingly, we make mistakes, we make offenses to the devotees. Unfortunately, it happens a lot in our society. But it's definitely, we have to be on guard. We have to be on guard, otherwise it can damage our spiritual progress. Our Bhakti Lata Beach, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu compared it so graphically to an elephant. you have a Bhakti Lata beach, you have a small little seedling that is sprouting. And then what are the chances if the elephant steps on it? There's no chance. Similarly, knowingly or unknowingly, it's Hati Mata. This mad elephant offense, we committed, so we have to be careful nowadays, especially with the internet. There's so much opportunity for making advancement, at the same time making offenses. In Kali Yuga, everybody's got an opinion. Everybody wants to say so many offensive things, and there's no respect even for authorities, for GBC, for Prabhupada disciples. Even younger devotees, newer devotees, they go and write so many things on the internet. So even reading such a thing can affect our spiritual life. So it's very subtle, it's very tricky. But if we are careful, in Chaitanya Bhagavat, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, do two things, and just two things I'll take you back to Godhead. To chant the holy names of Krishna and don't make offenses to the devotees. So, if we go to a devotee, their desired trees, we'll get a lot of opportunity to serve them, and through them, to serve Krishna. We'll have so much opportunities. But if we are not careful, then we can make offenses to the devotees, and then the taste for devotional service, for chanting the holy names, for prasad, everything fades away. All of a sudden we're wondering, many years go by, and then we're just wondering, what happened to me? I used to be such and such. I used to be so eager, so enthusiastic. It's like the razor, the edge of the razor, Bhagavatam says. If we are careful, then we get a nice shave, clean shave. If not, you can cut yourself. Like that, Bhagavatam says, one shouldn't get very close to the Vaishnavas, especially the spiritual master and the deity, because it's like the progress, if we are careful, it's like being on a freeway. Nowadays the freeways are all jammed all the time, but generally speaking, you get the point. Freeway means you're supposed to go nice speed to your destination. So like that. So it's like a freeway if we are careful. If not, in the freeway, when you're going really fast, there's also chances of dying very fast. So many crashes happen every day, especially during the holiday season. Everybody's drunk. So similarly, and we get opportunities to go close to devotees and devotional service in Krishna. If we are careful, we make so much advancement, but unfortunately, due to past conditionings, we make offenses, then our spiritual progress will be temporarily slowed down. So, all this is there. We just have to be always on guard. Like Srila Prabhupada said, back then, in his time, Prabhupada said at least my god brothers, they were not fighting during the presence of my Guru Maharaj. And Prabhupada said, but you all, boys and girls, you're fighting even in my own presence, and what will happen when I'm not there, Prabhupada said. And Prabhupada said, oh, the problem back then, Prabhupada said, the problem with my American and European disciples is that you're not afraid of Maya enough. And nowadays, that statement, what to speak of the grand disciples, and that statement applies to everyone, American, European, Indian, Chinese. We're not, afraid of Maya enough. It all comes pouring into the pocket through this handheld device. So, yeah, these are some of the thoughts that came from the verse where Prabhupada is speaking about that how we are in the bodily conception, we worship the body as Brahman, but then when we come in contact with the devotee, then we give up the mistaken idea, and then we engage in devotional service of Lord Krishna. So I'll stop here. Any of the devotees have any comments or questions we can discuss?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, very, very beautiful class as always. I really liked the incident you were talking about where Prabhupada was asking people, what do you want to be in your next life? And they had so many answers. And it's very true that we're really not afraid of Maya that enough. And yes, that's very, very true. So thank you very much. The class was very wonderful, very enlightening. Thank you, Prabhuji, for coming on the call today. Hare Krishna.
Yes, ma'am. That was actually not Prabhupada. That was one of my god brothers. He was giving a class in New Zealand many years ago. It was a Sunday class.
Oh, it was.
So he was.
He
Yeah.
was saying that. Okay.
Yeah, but the point is the same.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for the opportunity.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you very much, very, very nice class. We are like Pratima Nirasini Mataji said that everybody wants to become something other than even human. It's very kind of surprising, or what we can say, they have no idea about human life. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for giving very nice class. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I don't have question.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Mamta here. Thank you, Prabhuji, for a very nice class with so many examples and, realizations. I liked it so much. And I also wanted to, tell you that, recently when we met you in Atlanta, outside Patel Brothers for book distribution, I'm really inspired, like how you do book distribution, and you gave so many good, realizations today about book distribution, and it is really motivating me, to do something on my own, like, from my side, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Prabhuji.
so wonderful to meet you also, Mother. Thank you for that comment and nice words. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So, Prabhuji, I have one question, how you were explaining that, this material body and the existence is so miserable. And then, I was actually in this, today morning, I was just thinking that, I was doing puja and, I was just feeling hungry. So, and then I had this question in my mind that, when we are feeling hungry, who is it exactly that, who is that, that is feeling hungry? Is it the body or the soul or both of it? Or, like how does it go? And why does it bother so much? If body is feeling hungry, why the soul is so bothered, and sometimes, the weakness, it gets over the body. And can you explain a little on that, Prabhuji?
Yeah, that's the stomach that's feeling hungry. Yes, like in the beginning I mentioned that Prabhupada says That just like when a person goes to a hospital or when he goes to a prison, they're given a prison uniform like that. The Jivatma is given this covering, and we don't want it to serve Krishna, but we are given this bag of senses that's constantly like a slave master, constantly pushing us to serve. Because we are insignificant Jivatmas, we said we will not serve Krishna, but we can't escape serving. We have to serve. So this body is given as a punishment, and we're being constantly being demanded by the eyes, by the nose, by the tongue, by the touch, like this. So we are constantly serving, and that's in the bodily concept of life. But then when we chant and as we do devotional service, as we progress, and then we can come on the spiritual platform where we see clearly that we are different from the body and mind. It's not a theory. We will completely see the difference, and we will be able to tolerate, like the Goswamis. Raghunath Das Goswami, he was eating a cup of buttermilk once a day or something like that, and they sleep 2 hours a day because they were not identifying with the body and mind. Our problem is we're still identifying ourselves with body and mind. Therefore, we think it's us. But as a parent, like when the child is screaming and he wants this and that and is being naughty, you know how to ignore the child. You don't give everything the child is asking. Similarly, in the liberated platform, they see that these are all like demands of body and mind, but I should tolerate. That's what the tapasya. There's a little tapasya in Krishna consciousness where Prabhupada said we have to tolerate and then go on with our duties. Then gradually, all these things actually goes away. Not that I'm a realized soul, but that's what I've been told. So these are all, in other words, what the example you gave is not, it's not the end of the world if you feel hungry. Sometimes also I feel like low blood sugar, so just before puja I had to eat some protein bar or something and then do puja. Prabhupada said, do the needful. We're not like austere, this or that, punishing. And our process is Kevalananda Kanda, chant good japa and take nice prasad, and everything will come in time.
Okay.
Did I make sense?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah. I liked how you said, that we have to, we can do the needful. So, and as you said, yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Because generally speaking, I notice devotees sometimes we put so many negative things first, and then the holy name. But what happens is if we focus on good japa, and then that is the main solution. So if we woke up and without interruption, without phone, without any distraction, without this and that, if we chant at least 1 hour of good japa, and the day you will see that, you will be peaceful. And you're not agitated, not so much hunger, no anger, so many things don't bother us like an immunity. Yes. But if we don't do the japa, then we think, I feel bad because I'm hungry. I feel bad because I want a new shoe. I feel bad because I was mean to my husband or wife. Then we put those things in the front as a priority, and then we feel bad. But what is the solution is we have to take the medicine first, and then the rest of the day, everything falls in place.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, we're like in the ocean of Kali. How are we going to remain dry? Impossible.
Yes. Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. Nice
Yes,
practical
Mata. Yes,
solution. Yeah.
Thank you,
Prabhuji.
Mata. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so very much for the class. And thank you so much. I just wanted to say thank you so much for pointing out the mercy of devotees, because it is quite amazing. Like you said, you go about your daily life and you just happen to meet a devotee, and through just their efforts and their devotion, they give you the holy name, and that's something that is priceless. And I also wanted to thank you for pointing out those two things from Chaitanya Bhagavat about chanting the holy names and not making offenses. Like you said, it's very common for us to do it without really realizing it. And so I just want to thank you for that reminder. So,
thank you. What's your name? Sorry?
Oh, my name is Tiffany. Tiffany.
Okay. Where you are located, Tiffany?
I'm in Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't heard your voice before. I was just nice to meet you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
You're very welcome. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Danat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. It's a very, very beautiful class and lot of points to put in our heart and then follow Prabhu. Thank you so much for your class.
Thank you. You're very welcome.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Koti Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev Ki Jai. Yes, Prabhuji, I have seen out of Patel Brothers, you and Mataji are so sincerely doing Srila Prabhupada's book distribution seva, sitting in a global mall Saturday, Sunday, whole day, without fail explain. Not only book distribution, but you give a Krishna conscious to new devotee. Even I have seen that Global Mall honors his worship Lord Shiva, but how sincerely he is standing in front of you like a baker and hearing Krishna Katha and by Srila Prabhupada's book. So I have seen in you to do a seva in 5 points. It inspires us that what should our mood when we serve Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev, Shri Radha Gopinath. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for your sincere seva. Pray for us that we become a one leg of hand to serve Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Bol.
Haribo Master. Thank you. You're so kind. You see goodness in some place that's not very little bit is there, but thank you so much. So happy to run into you all the time. It's always a pleasure.
Anyone else has any questions or comments for Prabhuji? Okay. So thank you again, Prabhuji, for the very, very beautiful class, and thanks to everyone who joined and made the session so beautiful. We can end the call here. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrind ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. His grace Shastra Krit ki jai.
Please, all of you, keep me in your
very
prayers
much.
that we distribute books, a lot of books in the upcoming marathon. The December marathon is coming in few days. So please, I beg all of you Vaishnavas, to keep me in your japa, that I can distribute a lot of books and bring more people to our Vaishnava family.
Hari Bol. Hari Bol.
Jai.
Jai Prabhu. We are not able to come for book distribution because of some restriction, but sure Prabhuji, we will share Lakshmi whatever our capacity of good and bad.
Yes, thank you, thank you.
Shastra Krit Prabhuji ki jai.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hari Bol.